Just remembered that we don't even have the ad read done yet. So tomorrow there will be a new sponsor on this channel. I swear it's real. It really is real this time. We have a first topic today that comes to us courtesy of one of the very, very best in the game. It is Jon Rothstein, who over the weekend put together an awesome list of 20 breakout players to watch for this upcoming season. A lot of these names, I think, are not a surprise to anyone who watches this channel or just pays attention to college basketball. If you don't watch this channel, you'll recognize a lot of the names that we are about to go through on Rothstein's list. Rothstein supposedly put these in no particular order. Like, as you read through it, it's just sort of a collection of all of the best players that he thinks will take strides forward from last year to this year. It's not listed from 1 to 20. I thought it would be fun to take the 20 that Rothstein put together and rank them in order of likelihood that they actually break out from 1 to 20. So that's what you and I are going to collaborate on today, just to go through them all. A reminder, you should follow Rothstein. You should go read his article, collegehoopstoday.net. He has in-depth, detailed reasons on why each of these guys is going to break out that goes far beyond just the list. But here is his order in no particular order. Jackson Kohler, and I'm going to jot these down as we go. If it feels like I'm going slow, that's why. Jeremy Fears, two Michigan State guys at the top. Nolan Winter from Wisconsin is third. Flory Badunga from Kansas is fourth. Isaiah Evans at Duke, 5. Terrace Reed, my former center, UConn's current starting center, is 6. Jalen Stewart from UConn also on the list. Jackson McAndrew at Creighton, 8. Royce Parham, number 9 from Marquette. Anthony Robinson from Missouri, guy that a lot of people believe is destined for a potential NBA future. Aiden Sherrill at Alabama, number 11. Carter Knox at Arkansas, number 12. CJ Cox from Purdue at 13. Thomas Haw at Florida, 14. Isaiah Brown, name also at Florida that you don't hear often about, but he's here. Motias Krivas from Arizona, 16. 4 more coming. Roddy Gale from Michigan, 17. Trent Perry at UCLA, 18. Kwame Evans at Oregon, 19. And Colin Chandler at Kentucky is 20. There's our full list. I have all the names written down. Our job is to put them in order from most to least likely to fulfill this breakout season that Rothstein thinks is coming. Where would you like to start?
Are we starting at 1 or 20?
For suspense purposes, why don't we start at the bottom of the list and work our way up? So I have a couple names that I just am not buying a breakout for.
Yeah, me too. And it starts with Isaiah Brown for me.
Why do you feel that way about Isaiah Brown?
I'm not even 100% sure he's in that guard rotation, and his own coach doesn't believe in his breakout.
Well, why do you say that?
Well, his coach has been, I guess, I don't know. I feel like the way he just recruited over him consistently.
It's hard to break out when you have Xavier Lee and Boogie Fland in front of you.
Yeah.
And the talk is that Thomas Haw, who's also on this list, mind you, is going to start at the 3. So basically, if you're buying a Thomas Haw breakout, it happens at the 3. Where do the minutes come for Isaiah? So I think that's a good read by you. Let's put Isaiah Brown at 20, last on our, or least likely on this list. Close to me, if not even lower. I'd be fine putting this guy at 20. Roddy Gale is not likely to break out.
Yeah, I agree. Because like, well, I don't know what a Roddy Gale breakout looks like
No,
either.
he is what he is. He's a veteran. He's not going to shoot as poorly as he did last year, but like it's not like Michigan even wants Roddy Gale to be like an all-conference player this year. There's no role increase that's coming with how loaded this team is. So I expect him to play better, but that's not a breakout.
Yeah, I agree. Like honestly, I think if Roddy Gale just does what he did towards the end of the season last year, that's all Michigan wants.
Yep, I'm good with Roddy Gale at 19. Honestly, most of the rest of these names are all names I would buy to break out in some form. So we're kind of going to be pick and choosing here. There's maybe 1 to 2 more names that I'm kind of skeptical on before we get into just which ones do we like the least.
I have one. I'm not skeptical on his ability to break out. I'm skeptical on what his role looks like, and that's Colin Chandler for me. I'm not skeptical on his ability. I just don't know how much in comparison to everyone else on this, like what does his opportunity look like versus everybody else?
I think I agree with you in terms of opportunity. He's not going to crack my top 10, I think, because of that role. But I buy his game taking a step forward enough that I don't think he's in the next three for me. Can I give you my names that I'd put as candidates to be low on this list?
Yeah.
Jackson McAndrew at Creighton. I feel like he's a guy that has had opportunity already to break out. He's kind of Eddie. It hasn't happened yet. They brought in Josh Dix and Blake Harper on the wing. Why is McAndrew breaking out if they brought in two high profile transfers? So to me, I'd have him low. I'd have Jalen Stewart at UConn low. Don't think he's starting. Where do the minutes come from there? And I'm just not buying his game relative to like Braylon Mullins, Caravan solo ball, all playing huge minutes on this team. I think those are the two only obvious ones here for me. And then you could talk me into anybody.
I'm okay with those two. Um, I was gonna have Sherelle, but I mean, obviously with the Bethea news, I do think Sherelle's gonna have a way bigger opportunity to shine now too.
And Sherrell's a big, so they might have to go bigger than they want. But I'm not really buying Sherrell's game. I know Carter really likes his game. Let's go McAndrew at 18, Jalen Stewart at 17. Now we got to keep working our way up the list. Guys kind of in that same Chandler tier to me. I don't think Trent Perry's expected to start at UCLA. Even if we like his game and think he could break out, to me, it's like they're going Donovan Dent, Sky Clark, Eric Daly at the three, probably. So that's one. I think CJ Cox is buried at Purdue. The buzz is that Jakari Harris is going to be a breakout starter, and you obviously have Omer still there. But I also don't love the idea of putting CJ Cox this low on a list with our Purdue audience. So maybe I'm being a little tiny little scared little baby there. I don't know. Sherelle probably belongs here for me as well. And I would add Jackson Kohler to this mix because I think he's a proven commodity.
I was gonna say Jackson Kohler and Terrace Reed to me. I think what you see is what you get a little bit with those two.
Reed, I think there's been so much buzz about. Like, there's talk he could be UConn's best player and an All American. Nobody's talking about Kohler that way. But yeah, Kohler to me is just like he's going to average his 12 and 8. And do we call that a breakout when he's already a pretty proven player?
Yeah, I don't think that's a breakout at all. I could get behind Terrace from what you're saying, but I feel like even with the Terrace stuff, I guess breaking out is different than improving. I don't know where Terrace improves. I think he gets like more opportunity, like
Yeah.
I maybe stays out of foul trouble, stays out the doghouse a little bit more. Um, but I feel like he's kind of who he is as a player a little bit.
Let me look at this Alabama depth chart real quick because Sherrell's probably going to start at the five. Otherwise, I would like him as a candidate down low. I'm gonna lock in Trent Perry at 16 because I don't think the minutes are there for him at all. And then I think it's some order of CJ Cox, Colin Chandler, Jackson Kohler before we go up higher on the list.
I think I'm very high on Antoine West Jr. too.
We could put Kwame Evans at 15. Just we don't like his game at Oregon.
Yeah, I don't like Palmer Evans.
All right, so Kwame Evans 15. Now we got to start going through like again, we like Jackson Kohler, we like CJ Cox, we like Colin Chandler, but Kohler's a proven commodity and the other two don't have the path to minutes. So help me sort through how do you want to rank those guys? We have 14, 13, and 12 upcoming here.
I think I'd put CJ Cox at 14. I'm very high on Antoine West Jr. I'm pretty high on Jakari Harris. I just think obviously I'm super high on Omer Meyer. Like that's a massive depth chart that he's fighting uphill against.
If it's Cox at 14, then I think it's Chandler at 13. And then I think it's Kohler at 12, and we make the decision to put the guy who will be a more productive player ahead of the two that are going to need another year.
Yeah, I agree. I
All
agree.
right, so let's do that. That leaves us with 11 more names to put on the list. Sherelle got a mention as a guy we're not really personally buying. I think at this point, I'd be looking at Royce Parham also as a guy like he's gonna break out. He's gonna be more productive at Marquette, but I'm just not a huge believer in his game. Everybody else in this list, I'm like, yeah, they're gonna break out. They're gonna be really good.
The thing about Parham is I feel like with how limited he was, he is a candidate to like have one of the bigger breakouts from the whole list, though. Even if I mean, I'm not huge on his game either, but he's going from next to nothing to a pretty big role.
I think you're right. Okay, this is that sentence for some reason triggered something in my brain to get creative. Is number 11 on this list Isaiah Evans?
Yes.
Because there's so many dudes on Duke.
Yeah, but see, what's interesting about Isaiah Evans, if he's like two or three, I actually think Duke is worse than if he's 11.
I love that point.
Like if he really does break out, that means something went wrong with everybody else. So I think this is a really good spot for Isaiah Evans.
I love that point. Okay. All right. We have 10 left, and I'm looking at the 10 in front of me just to read them again. Jeremy Fears, Nolan Winter, Flory Badunga, Terrace Reed, Royce Parham, Anthony Robinson, Aiden Sherrill, Carter Knox, Thomas Haw, and Motius Krivas. I think all these guys are breaking out. We're literally just putting them in order of what we think is biggest impact to lowest impact. Who do you
That's
want at 10?
Sherelle.
I'm good with that. And I think I want Krivas at 9,
Yeah, I agree.
just because we don't really know for sure if he's like, is he an all Big 12 player? Is he better than Vasar, who went to North Carolina? We don't really know.
I was gonna pitch Thomas Haw here at 8.
Give me that pitch.
I feel like he's playing out of position, and it could work. It also could not work, and we could see the opposite of a breakout from him.
I think you are totally right with it. My only question is, does he belong at 8 underneath Parham and potentially Robinson, who's another guy I kind of want to see to believe it for? Or should he be just ahead of those two and put those two? But to me, I think those are the next three in some order.
I think Parham should be ahead of that group. I'm okay. What if we put him in between the two? We go Robinson, Haw, Parham.
Let's go Haw at 8. I'm okay with that. And then you want Anthony Robinson 7, Royce Parham 6.
Yeah, I feel like Parham has the biggest room on like to balloon on this list.
I'm good with that. All right, so that means our top five in some order is going to be Carter Knox, Terrace Reed, Flory Badunga, Nolan Winter, Jeremy Fears. I think these are five guaranteed breakout players.
Yeah.
It's just in terms of impact for me. You mentioned Terrace earlier. You would have been okay putting him lower on the list. I also think, man, Carter Knox could be an All American. Badunga could be an All American. I don't think Nolan Winter will be. You could sell me that Fears is, but it's unlikely.
Fears, I don't think can be because of position.
Oh, just because there's better guards.
Yeah, Braden Smith, Donovan Nett, like it's just like he's going up against the toughest guard group, like or toughest positional group to be an All-American, I think.
I will say there's an argument, and this is genuine. There's an argument Fear should be number one on this list because more so than any other player on this list, his team is his team this year.
Well,
Kansas is Darren Peterson's team, not Flory Badunga's. Wisconsin is John Blackwell's team, not Nolan Winters. UConn is UConn. Terrace Reed's going to fit in. Carter Knox is John Calipari. Darius Acuff. It's not Carter Knox. Michigan State is Jeremy Fears' team. If he's good, he is number one on this list. I just don't know if he's actually going to be that good or not.
well, Cohen Carr.
I don't have time for this today, Dion, but I'll let that live. I don't know where we go here. I love all five of these guys, so I don't know where we go. Help me.
I like Carter Knox at 1, or I'm cool with Jeremy Fears at 1. I think Carter and Jeremy are 1 too, though, because I think they have the highest likelihood of that being their roster.
Are we positive Knox's numbers take a leap? Because what if it's just Acuff and Thomas and they're awesome?
I do, yeah. I mean, I'm very high on Acuff. I think Acuff is going to wind up in that grouping with like Michael, Cam, Darren, AJ. Um, but I think it's like from this group, the path to Carter Knox being the number one option makes more sense than the remaining players, besides Jeremy Fears.
So I'm going Nolan Winter at 5. And then I think we got to go Flory Badunga, Terrace Reed at some order 3 and 4. How,
Yeah.
how would you stack rank those?
I would go Terrace at 4 just because I feel like we've seen more out of Terrace. Like Flory
Yep.
could surprise us still.
Totally fine with that. Okay. Which means our top two are Carter Knox and Jeremy Fears. You want to go Jeremy Fears 2, Carter Knox 1?
I like that. Yeah.
That feels good to me. All right. So, in conclusion, from most likely to least likely, Jon Rothstein's 20 breakout players. How likely are they to break out? Carter Knox 1, Jeremy Fears 2, Flory Badunga 3, Terrace Reed 4, Nolan Winter 5, Royce Parham, Anthony Robinson, Thomas Haw, Motias Krivas, Aiden Sherrill, Isaiah Evans, Jackson Kohler, Colin Chandler, CJ Cox, Kwame Evans, Trent Perry, Jalen Stewart, Jackson McAndrew, Roddy Gale, and Isaiah Brown. And I have made the executive decision that when we ask Booby for a graphic for this, we're just going to leave off the bottom 10.